Every time I'm bobbing to the music, I'm like, okay, we need to go on. Fabio, we are here. It is Milan Weekly Podcast. It's Monday. Some people watch Raw. Some people watch NHL playoffs, NBA. People are here to therapy. It's we got 2 weeks left. What are we gonna talk about today, Fabio? We're gonna talk about somebody call his mama, Cagliari, the shellacking Mother's Day massacre. What else are we gonna be talking about today?
We got the report card coming tonight, baby. We're gonna
like
grade everybody from the game. We got a special topic coming from Presidente. We got the Patreon chat. We got Serie A recap in the final couple of weeks here. We also have busted calcio tweets coming. We got a full pack show. But before you do anything, all right, there's one thing you gotta do. All right, it's most important. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all of our latest videos. Smash the like button, leave a comment, and if you want to help support the channel, find us on Patreon and follow us on all of our socials. But are you ready, Vinny?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm a little under the weather, but the show must go on. And as you like to say, let's go.
Let's go!
Welcome to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Milan fans all over the world, with your hosts, Vinny T and Stevie P.
Benvenuti nella casa
Giroud in area, si gira, sinistro, rete, gol capolavoro di Olivier Giroud.
Mignon with another magical save.
Coast to coast del numero 19.
Leao carica il mancino. Eccolo qua, Rafa Leao.
Cari amici sportivi, welcome to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here we talk everything Milan, a Mother's Day massacre, Milan, and a au revoir, Monsieur Giroud. Milan, Fabio from Coast to Coast, Vinny T from MWP. And Fabio, how you been? How was your week?
It just so everybody knows, full disclosure, I didn't get a chance to watch the game. I avoided, like it was 1992, I avoided all scores, and I went home and I watched it in its totality, and I was happy that I did not waste 2 hours of my life. But the weekend was good, got to see old friends, got to go see a baseball game last night. It was all good in the hood. And you know what? The most important thing is my Milan is back to its winning ways. Thank God.
You know what? If it was back maybe 1998, 1999, you know what your phone would have gotten if we had that technology. There would have been a lot of this during this game. Lots of these. Il squillo di tromba, and more of these.
If it was 1998, I'd probably be not here. I'd be watching Raw because you could not miss Nitro and Raw back then. It was hot topics, baby.
Guys, by the way, breaking news, Fabio. We're getting this highly profiled coach from Saudi Arabia. He cannot keep a job in Saudi Arabia, but ask everybody. We are getting this Marcello. Oh, yeah, no, we have the inside scoop here. Basically, this coach has never coached in Europe, cannot keep a job in Saudi Arabia, but hey, Milan is in the race. But this morning, sports media said, ci sta un incontro con Conte. Now we're going from maybe meeting Conte to getting a coach that just got fired from Saudi Arabia. You gotta love Mercato Madness.
Mercato Madness starts early every year for us. We never get anything in January, but we always start early in the summer.
I love it. Thank you, Milan World. Thank you, Mercato Madness, for giving us content. And on a side note, Patreon, every May, StreamYard bill comes up. Thank you very much once again for helping us pay, especially with this American exchange that we get it right in the kisser. So thank you to all Patreon members for the support. I know we've been quite a little bit quiet on the chat, but the chat goes the way the team goes. But it is
true.
what it is. By the way, did you say you didn't waste 2 hours of your life watching this game? I had a fantastic time watching this game. And you know
You
what?
know what is no, because in context, sometimes when you don't know a score, there's a good probability you're getting a 0-0 and you're sitting through it. And sometimes you just wish somebody would tell you, Fat, don't do it. Don't waste your time. This is not a game to watch. You didn't miss anything. Just move on. But this one was good. So I was happy. And you know what? The players were happy too, because it looked like all we needed to do to break our funk is to just disrespect their fathers, rip that name off, and put Mama's name back on there, and everybody played like superstar. Do it for Mama, right? Do it for Mama. The Mother's Day Massacre, unbelievable.
Yeah, no, Liban, sometimes it sucks to be a manager at work. I had to go into work while I was supposed to do a pre-game chat, but this Saturday, we will be there. Happy Mother's Day to your mother, to my mother, as we like to say, to all mothers. And that's why we got confused and looking at jerseys.
That's true. This was crazy to watch this game. If you didn't know the players, you had no idea who was who at this point. But as long as celebrate the people that pushed you out, baby. I love it. Special Mother's Day shout out to our first Patreon here, Sabrina. She's the best.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to her. And you know what? At the beginning of this game, I've been saying it quite often, Fabio, last couple of weeks. The race is the relegation race, and these were kind of teams that you're kind of afraid. They're battling relegation. They're tough teams, and it's like, no, where was this Milan when we needed this kind of Milan to just put the boots to a team that is far inferior to us? And Cagliari was nowhere to be seen, man, at all.
No, very, very surprising for Ranieri's team. They, have been obviously hovering above the relegation zone for most of the season. But this is what you expect from Milan, right? It's only when you play the teams really in the relegation battle, sitting in there, do we drop points, or whether it's at the top of the table this year. But these teams that are just a little above, kind of not knowing what to do, we've been able to handle them. And when I saw the lineup, I honestly was like, what the hell are we doing here? What is going on? Why are half the players not playing? I thought they were going to be sat completely. This seemed to have just been a strategy. We're just going to sit for half, then put the other half in. I thought for sure Deo, Leao, there were even rumors that Chukwueze wasn't going to play, but then they put him in. He ends up getting hurt. So that's the one real bad news of this game, is that it seems like we've seen the end of Chukwueze for this rest of this season, which is, doesn't really matter at this point. But I just was a little perplexed. Why are we doing this roster? Happy to see Kalulu back. Big ups to Kalulu, finally back in the lineup. Everything
in his rightful
else
position.
It's true. And just to mention this, Terracciano, are you alive? Blink twice if they're holding you hostage, because I don't understand why this kid doesn't get a sniff of play. I don't know. Even Florenzi, he's been top class. I mean, we're gonna go through them individually, but all in all, not a great first half. Did get a little lucky with Benacer's goal that Pulisic gets a block, Chukwueze gets a block, and it falls, and immediately Benacer does the right thing by putting it on target, and it's a goal. But the second half is really where we picked it up, where we took Chuk off, we brought in Leao, we brought in
Little
Okafor.
Vinny was impressed.
Yeah, I mean,
Little Vinny.
There was a lot to love, especially Little Vinny. But honestly, it all in all, it's very hard to find much to get upset about, but don't worry, we will. Vinny, you have any other things you want to do before we get into this report card?
You know what? No, because I don't think we need to start nitpicking this game. I think we're going to nitpick it with the gradings. I know you like to do the gradings on Coast to Coast.
Baby.
By the way, where's Gio, Fabio, this week?
Today, Gio, what is Gio doing today? Gio is a man of many talents and many desires and other things. But today, Gio couldn't make it. Big baller. He had his daughter's birthday. Big ups to Ellie. Her birthday was this weekend. So Gio, great papa, took care of the mama, of course. He's a family man. So shout out to G and
Look at him.
everything.
He's in the
we
chat.
miss him. He's always in the chat. He might not be able to come on camera, but he's always getting loved. He sent me a little voice note about Giroud, that I'm going to mention it later. But
all right.
without further ado, let's get into the report card, and let's not be shouted out by Gio for missing him this time. Sportiello, let's start with him. What's your grade on Sportiello?
I gotta give him a B on this one, because I don't think on the goal was his fault. I know there was a crossbar, but I think he was there when we need him. Did a couple of saves. Because I think C would be too harsh. I'm gonna go with B.
See, I like it. And guys, it's really important. If you're in the chat, please provide us with what your grades are, because if me and Vinny are kind of in the middle, you'll be the deciding factor. But you know what? This is what I have written down, and I shit you not. B if it was Mike, right? But I think because it's Sportiello, I'm giving him an A, because he made a lot of saves. I don't blame him for the goal, but I thought he came up big in a lot of chances. There's even one where he gets a slight deflection and it hits the crossbar. He was definitely called into play a couple of times, and he didn't disappoint. I think the goal falls on another player, and we're going to get there. You say B, I say A. What's the chat saying down there?
Chat saying B, because for me, C is meeting expectations, exceeding expectations, and then greatly exceeding expectations.
Exactly. I think you're right. B. C is, the way I look at C is more of like, he didn't do great, didn't really do bad.
You're all right.
Just kind of, So I agree with you. I think B is good. And I had B if it was Mike, but we'll go B. All right, Kalulu. Now, I'm going to give you my grade, and then I want to hear what you think about it. Obviously, I'm very excited to have him back. But that's all I can say, because I don't think he did too much. He was trying to do some stuff. But in my heart, I felt like this is a C grade.
Yeah.
That the performance was a C. He didn't do anything to really stand out. But I'm happy to see him back, and to me, that's good enough. What say you?
C is definitely the score for me. And on one note, Steve always likes to say, shout out to Steve, we're going to be back as soon as the season starts over, or for Mercato Madness, because, he loves it. When you don't hear about somebody, it's a good thing, right? So you didn't hear Kalulu's name too often in the game. I would think a C, because just coming back from injury, guys, how many games has he played, Kalulu? You guys remember what happened when we tried to put him back on? So no,
it's got to be like single digits.
Yeah.
There's no way he's played many games this season. But yes, I agree. All right, Gabia. Now, we're not going to put the graphic up because Gio's not here. But what's your opinion of Gabia's performance? Only played 45 minutes, but let's go from there.
I don't know if I give him a B. I think I would have to go for Chow. For me, Chow and Gabi, I'm gonna go with C, because to me, like, they did their jobs. That's my score. Sorry, Gio.
I'm sorry as well, Gio. I'm going with C. I think the yellow card is the reason he was subbed off at halftime to put in Tomori, and that probably gets him a C. I think let's move to Chow. Chow, you mentioned it, and my notes I have him as a C, so I'm 100% with you. That I wish he played better, and there's a point where Prati almost got him in the first half. He's very lucky because Chow kind of like falls out of frame, and he's lucky Prati doesn't get like an actual good shot off. He's kind of falling away from the ball when he hits it, and it's an easy save for Sportiello. But other than that, there's another moment towards the end of the game where Chow didn't look that great either. So for me, again, neither good, neither bad.
Yeah, both C. Yeah.
I think C is fair. Let's go Florenzi. What's your opinion?
A B.
Of B.
He's for me, is over expectations for me. Florenzi, the way he's taking those free kicks, the way he for an old man to step in when we need him in this game, I would go with a B. That's my opinion.
See, I have him as a C.
All right.
Again, you're asking him to play a second position. He's usually more right wing, but he's been doing left back. Right back, but he's playing left back here. He did pretty good. He got subbed out for Theo in the 60th minute. He has the first shot on target of the game, which is a nice tone setter. And he's been doing really great with the set pieces. Don't like that he necessarily always takes the shots no matter what. I feel like, come on, somebody else has to do it. But the corner kicks, he's been pretty good the whole season. But this game, I feel like a C is fair. Right? Now, I don't know about B. Everybody else in the chat, let us know how you feel about Florenzi. We're going to go on to one of the superstars of this game. Benacer. Capitano Ismail today. All right? He was Capitano this weekend, and I thought he was phenomenal. I have him fantastic. Goal and an assist. He was great. What's your opinion of Benacer?
Benny, you see, I got 2 for B for Florenzi. People are on Team Benny.
Team Benny, that's right.
Guys, for me, Benny on this one is an A. Because
absolutely,
unfortunately, I think he's an A because of his past, 2 months that we haven't seen the Benny that we got used to.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give him A because to me, he greatly exceeded my expectations for this game. And what a game. I don't know if it's because
and what a pass to lay out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, for the 4th goal. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Everybody's agreeing. A on the A for Benny on that one.
All right, let's go to one of my low points here. Yunus, the American international Musa. I'm giving him an F, Vinny.
Oh, shit.
Responsible for the goal. Extremely wasteful. He has one play. Oh my God! What 1 minute is it? Hold it. The 24th minute. He is just holding on to the ball like an idiot in the box, not knowing what to do, and he just holds on too long. And they end up counterattacking on us, and we're lucky. Lavumbo ends up shooting it basically right on target, and Sporiola makes the save. But I just thought, this guy, you get an opportunity to play the full 90. You need to do better. Your anus Musa. I like that.
It was so good when we first asked him to come on with all those injuries. And, another reason why I'm giving Florenzi B, because on that side, there was Florenzi with Captain America. Musa, before we went on, I'm like, didn't he assist? And Fabio's like, yeah, he assisted the other Cagliari's goal. No, this was, you're going with an F. I'm going to leave Facebook Frank going D. You're harsh. I think maybe you're biased because it's American, but no, definitely. Can we just say it right now? The flop of the game for me has got to be the flop of the game.
Yeah, I think he is. He's my flop of the game right now. I just want to say, just the contrast of where he started earlier in the season to where he seems to be finishing at the end of the year. It's very troubling. I want to put it on the coach and pray that this 20-year-old finds his legs under another coach, under another year. But this is just, again, not thank God for everybody else, because this was not a good
looks like an overexcited chicken when he has the ball. Well, thank you for that analogy, even Jack. But he has skills, though.
He does. He needs a little more shaping up in the final third for sure. And just, oh man, he lost his man so badly on the goal. All right, let's go to Reindeers. Now, Tijani Regindas, we got to get his name right when he plays well. What a wonder goal.
Yeah.
What a wonder goal.
He was surprised himself. He said, what? What did I just do? I got a B for Rudolph, man. Wow. And before anybody takes it bad, we call him Rudolph. We're not trying to be funny. These are made out of love. Rudolph, reindeer. When we call him all these little nicknames, don't get fucking offended.
The most
his real name is
Tijani.
Yeah, it's his real name. We call him Rudolph. Okay, Rudolph.
When he learns to speak Italian, we'll learn to pronounce his name. How about that? I you know what? I had him as an A. I thought that goal itself was wonderful. I thought he was pretty solid the whole game. But I can understand B. A lot of people in the chat saying B as well. Liban Youssef, Anthony, both saying B. Great goal. Vince Mancini saying B, baby. Hopefully more A's next year. Plus, I love his through balls. Hey, yo. All right, so we'll go with B. I think that's fair. Let's go to the man up top.
Come on, baby.
Come on, baby. The one and only Christian Pulisic. You go first because
even a discussion?
I can't stand up. You'll see my tent, if you know what I'm saying.
What do you got to give him? An A+?
If I could.
It's not even a discussion. Even look at Stevie saying to Johnny A, he's on your side. No, but back to Pulisic. A. It's not even. I don't even need to describe why. The guy starting, like you said, in the first half weren't that great, but he's just what a signing, guys! What a fucking signing! What are we getting for 25? And
Either 20 or 25 or 22, something like that.
Yeah.
But two goals. One, thank God for that goal line technology. But playing left wing and right wing, all right?
Yep.
That is super valuable to have a player like him. And again, when the next coach hopefully figures out play him as a cam or somebody in the middle, watch how exciting this Milan will be with a healthy Chuck, Leao, and a dynamic striker. Woo! Man, but Pulisic, he could have even had more goals. He could have had some assists as well. A couple of times, the other players let him down. But for me, he is my top. Pulisic was fantastic this game. Unbelievable. Frank said 20 mil. That's what we paid for him. All right. This is a little rough, this one, because I know everybody's emotional about the video today, but we got to talk Giroud. What are you giving him?
Guys, Giroud was a C. He did his job. Right? I don't think he failed.
I see to know what job that was he did.
Oh.
I don't
want to give him a D.
No, he deserves the D because he was dreadful again. I'm sorry. He hasn't been good. I'm not going to let the video and the emotions
I'm
today.
a hopeless romantic. Even little Vinny.
Well, I'll light candles and throw petals on the floor for you. All right? But this guy did not deserve a C. It was not good. It's the standard D performance. All right? Flicks where he doesn't belong to be flicking all over the place. He didn't have any real great chances. He found his way. He just, again, I felt in the first half, he did nothing. And he only played 45 minutes because then finally Pioli did what we all hoped and subbed in Okafor. All right, so for me, it's a D performance. All right, if I could, I'd fail him, but I'm going to skew up just because everybody's emotional
Relax.
today. All right, let's get to our subs now. All right, we'll
Chucky,
start with
you're not gonna grade Chucky.
Oh, I'm a dick. I skipped over him. I'm sorry. Sorry, G. Chuck. Well, what's your opinion of Chuck?
C. He did his job.
I have that. Nothing to mention, so it's a C. Subbed off at half for Leao. Let's get to Tomori now. All right, Tomori, what's your opinion?
C. I'm trying to look at all these. Tomori. How about who do you give more than a C out of the subs? How about that? Because A plus to Pobega. Huh? A plus to Pobega.
No, he gets NA. Not he showed up so late to class, we don't even count him. How about that? All right, Dr. Pobega. All right, let's first pull him correct. All right, Tomori, I'm giving him a B. I'll say a B because, again, he looked more solid than the other two. He obviously came in for Gabia. I don't want to give up on Tomori. I'm just going to start with that because I know there's been talks in the last week or so that maybe they might want to cash in on him or whatever. I don't want to get rid of Chow. I don't want to get rid of Tomori. I like Gambia. Do not get rid of him. Let's find another center back to compete with these three. I think it's a good core of center backs. I think he's pretty good. I'm going B for Tomori. That's where I start there. All right. Okafor, since he's the next one who came in.
B.
He was in that C area because I felt like really didn't do much. But he got that assist to Pulisic in the end, so I give him a B for that one. That's a fair grade, right?
B for me as well, yeah.
All right, we're going to save the next guy for the end. Dale, very quiet.
C.
He get an assist. He got an assist, but it's very fugazi. All right, this how you get an assist, you just tapped it to the side. You did nothing. Reindeers did the whole thing. He guided the sleigh home. All right, so I'm giving him a C on that one. Pobega, obviously, NA. But Rafael Leao. All right, listen, you pricks. You're damn right it's an A. All right, and if it wasn't for Pulisic and Benny, he'd be my man in the match. But I got to tell you people out there, because there's a lot of people out there. You people, you know who you are. All right? You know who you are. You dumb sons of bitches that are going to go out there and talk your shit on Twitter and talk your shit on Instagram and drive a player like Rafael Leao away. You should be kissing his ass every time he goes out there. I don't care if you think he doesn't run enough. This guy is a superstar, all right? This guy I'm throwing my pen, losing everything. This guy, all right, deserves your support because look what he does. When he actually has the right mindset, all right? And who knows how much of this is the coach and what's going on, but this guy is so fucking world class that just watch how everybody is on his nuts come Euros pretty quickly. How everybody's going, lay out, this, that. Don't worry.
Potential. He's got world-class potential.
How many MVPs do these other guys have? They got 0. Leao's got 1, and he's on his way up. All right? Just
keep that same fucking energy if ever he starts sucking for 5-6 games. Keep the same fucking energy.
Listen, I'm not Gio. I'm not here to throw the baby with the bathwater out. I don't do that. All right? Yeah, superstar. You, please. Every 2 seconds, somebody comes knocking for Leao. And you know what? Milan has to put another stupid fire out saying Leao doesn't want to go nowhere. He's on the contract for another 4 years. He's not going anywhere. All right?
Timmy's trying to put oil on top of the water. Love it.
If he was Brazilian, Timmy would love him even more. All right.
Well, but you know, he was on the bench. But I think on that team, Timmy, I don't think they were playing just friendlies or something. But you can't deny the guy's potential and the guy's what is upside. That's why we're getting Conte, by the way, because Conte is going to bring Leao up to superstardom.
That's right.
Here first. You heard it.
Maybe Conte, maybe the coach. Shout out to Pioli. Here's my Brioski. Thank God this guy at least has some sort of like humor. All right, that he actually jokes that if he would have noticed that Leao's mother's name is what's the coach from Portugal from Porto? I can't remember his name. Yeah, that it's the same name that Leao was wearing on Sunday. He said if he would have noticed, he would have never subbed him in. But then he obviously said he was joking when he said that. But honestly, Leao's the man.
Yeah. Man of the match. So man of the match for you was Captain America or Benny?
Pulisic. Has to be
Pulisic. Definitely Pulisic on that one.
And Pioli. What's your grade on Pioli this one?
See. He did his job. He made the changes that he had to do. He did his job. Yep. You know, tell me that we were losing 2-0, made changes, and somehow we came back. Okay, he went over expected. He did his job. And C is not a failing grade, guys. That's if you ask me. You, Fabio?
I gave him a B for this one. Made the substitute. I mean, this game felt like I didn't know what the hell we were doing at the beginning with the substitutes. Like the whole what he was putting out there. With having Leao and Teo just to sit them. And then in the second half, they turned it on. And that's the Milan you want to see from the get-go. So for me, it's got to be a B. And, you know, a little too late at that point.
All right. So, you know what time it is. Fabio, let's look at the rest of Serie A and what happened to week 36. This segment is brought to you by Fubo.tv, your home for all things Serie A here in Canada and the EPL. And for all you non-English speaking, si può anche vedere in italiano. Love that feature. Fabio, we had, do we even have Frosin on Inter? Okay, they scored 5 goals. Yay.
I have, there's one thing, and you should care about this one.
Hold on, give it to them, give it to them.
There were 5 of these during this game, all 5 different goal scorers. But the part that I mentioned to you, when I say you're a bad Canadian for this, shout out to Canada because Buchanan's first Serie A goal happens in this game. That's Canada's own. There you go. They got their first goal. There you go.
Fuck him. He's an Interista. This segment is brought to you by Fubo.tv.
All right. Let's get to the next one.
And then, you know what, guys? When life gets tough and you're feeling down about Milan, always look to Napoli to bring up your spirits. Jesus Christ. Napoli now sits in 9th spot. Bologna scored, 2 goals in the span of, 10 minutes in the first half? And that's
12 minutes. 12 minutes is all it took to put Napoli to bed on this one. Unbelievable. And Bologna finally secured their Champions League spot. Kudos to them.
Good for them. Bologna taking home an away win at Napoli. And yes, after we're going to take a look at with Fiorentina winning today, the 3 points, Napoli in 9th as we speak. Lazio. I was watching this one. Was the early game 2-0. Nothing really to write home about. I thought maybe Empoli was gonna. They stayed up 1-0 until a bit later in the game. But these are
Yeah,
little
both.
teams like Cagliari, Empoli that you
Yeah,
thought, Sassuolo too. We're gonna take a look that this week when they needed to win the most,
yeah.
they didn't.
I think Empoli's in big trouble here. Tudor, though, shout out to him since he's come to Lazio. He's been doing a lot of good things for them. Each goal came right at the end of each of the halves. So a pretty easy win for Lazio all in all.
Yeah, and Genoa taking home the 3 points to Sassuolo, and we're gonna get into it where the only team that won this week and needed to win was Udinese, guys. That won
Yes.
today. Sassuolo. You know what? They're going down. I don't see how right now. If you would take a look, now obviously Udinese is at 33, Empoli 32. There's 2 games left, guys. Empoli Frosinone. Sassuolo is going down, and Udinese looks like they're gonna pull it off. Anyways, going back to the second turn. What do you have?
Just Sassuolo, man. I mean, their own goal is the difference of this game to give them the loss here, but they are in big trouble. I thought they were almost in a point where they were officially relegated, but they're not because they're still 3 points behind with 2 games left. But, man, it's really hard to believe that they're going to do something in these last weeks to save their ass.
Then we take a look at
this the karma game. This is called karma right here.
And that's my Brioschi of the week. Leave it to Italian fans, to guys that happened. Facebook friends that tell me when the Superga plane went down to Torino,
like
Gran Torino,
80, 90 years ago, whenever it was, 1947
catching fans doing the airplane movement, catching fans. Well, you know what? Fuck you, Verona. You lost. You needed 3 points, and that's how that's called karma. You said, Fabio.
Yeah, it's karma because in 6 minutes, your Verona's chances of winning the game crashed. All right. The 77th minute and the 83rd minute, Torino scored. Torino's been the better team the whole year. And Verona, again, like our buddy Jan likes to say, what do you expect for such a crap fan base the way they usually are? They're very racist, do stupid things. Here's another one. That's my indigestion of the week.
And then in another Allegri masterclass.
This what a snooze fest. This game should have been banned from television. Oh my God. First of all, Juventus, you should be embarrassed. You needed a 90-second goal by Rabiot just to tie Salernitana, a Division B team already. You needed that. I mean, at least lose like Milan. Come on. I mean, but that's Juve in a nutshell. Just doing enough to scrape by. That is Allegri masterclass right there. Unbelievable. Allegri, please stay. Don't give up that 12 million.
I'll give Jan props because people want to talk about Allegri. Guys, Juve without Allegri would be in 7th or 8th spot. And you know what? I think he's right because I don't even know Allegri masterclass. Atalanta.
Oh man. Oh, the CDK show.
Atalanta getting it done, taking home the 3 points, a much needed 3 points for them as well. Roma, let's have a look here right now. If you're taking a look,
Roma, I think, is sitting in 6th. Yeah,
Atalanta, 6th. Fiorentina now is at 53, right, taking over Napoli, and they still have that game in hand with Atalanta. Roma, look at Roma and Lazio right there. So that's pretty. It's
within a point. Very interesting. Yeah, but honestly, CDK. I mean, this guy. This guy has given every Milan fan something to talk about this season and this game, let alone 2 goals in a matter of 3 minutes. And the sad thing is that he could have had more. They were pelting Roma. I mean, Roma looked like a shell of themselves. Honestly, they looked awful. Awful. It made me feel really embarrassed that we got shellacked kind of from Roma not that long ago because they didn't look good. And the only reason they got that goal is because they got a penalty
Which was
and
a
that's
dubious one for me.
and
But
honestly, that's all Roma can score lately. They just score penalties.
last 3
They don't
goals
do
on
anything else.
penalties, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
2 games left in the Serie A. Then you had today Udinese taking home the much needed 3 points against Lecce,
Very
2-0,
nice.
and then Fiorentina as well taking home 3 points, a much needed. So again, looking back
Very good.
to here, Udinese jumps up to 33 points on par with Cagliari. Verona stays at 34. So from 14th to 19th, you have 5 points of difference. That should be a very interesting. Lecce, I think, are safe, guys. Even staying there
Yeah.
at 37 points. Monza
I think
staying
they
at
are,
45. Fiorentina, Fiorentina now at 53. Lazio, it's going to be fun, but that relegation. Udinese, I believe,
Is that
have
33 now, right?
that 33, but now they have their
No, they're
destiny
the
in their
game at
hands,
hand. Yeah.
because this week they couldn't have had it, the stars aligned better. The only team that won that needed 3 points was Udinese. So kudos to Cannavaro
And
and his team.
do they play Empoli or Frosinone still, Udinese? I think they play
I
somebody else.
believe, yeah. If I go to Serie A fixtures, Udinese is playing Empoli, and then Udinese is playing Frosinone.
So the two teams that are now only a point behind them. I mean, talk about having your destiny
You gotta
in your
love
own
it.
hands. Even for Frosinone and Empoli, these are if you want to get out of that relegation spot, you have to beat Udinese. And honestly, I think Udinese is going to have enough. I'd be very surprised if they fall in. My guess, if I had a gun to the head, Sassuolo is staying there in 19th. They're not going nowhere. But I want to say, I think Empoli is going to be the one to bite the bullet. What about you?
I don't know, man. I don't know how somehow Frosinone is gonna ended up. Frosinone at one point was in 10th spot, and that's so Serie A, right? Your 10th spot, 12, 15 weeks in, and now you're going to go relegation because Frosinone. So Frosinone is playing Udinese, and Frosinone next week is playing Monza.
That's a tough one.
It's gonna be fun, guys. It's gonna be fun. And on that note, where's my little? Oh, here we go. Segment was brought to you by Fubo.tv, your home for all things Serie A here in Canada and the EPL, and a big change in the fantasy. Ciao, Peter from MWP taking over, 15 points up on Chicken Carm. Zaid even there in 3rd spot, and the guys, don't forget your prize for finishing 1st, 2nd, or 3rd is a private calculus lesson with Presidente, one-on-one over Skype. No, but kind of interesting to see Peter changing up on his fantasy. 2 weeks left.
Chicken Carm was rolling.
Yeah, he was rolling. You see what happens.
Oh my God! What's the difference? Is that only 14 points?
14 points, yeah.
14, okay. Still there? Come on, Carm. Let's go. He's a New York guy.
He's got to represent New York. On that note, if I take it over to Patreon, we just had Nathan that, and I want to touch base. Not a question. I want to thank Giroud for his service. Gave us much more than expected. Yeah. I think that really sums it up, Nathan. And if you guys have a chance, it's a good 30-minute video.
It is.
On the Milan.
Very, very emotional. Thank you.
What did Franco
said it in the Milan chat in NYC, and he said, "Look, if I gotta cry, so do you guys." And he was right, man. I was sitting on my desk and I was getting emotional. I was trying to, hide the tears. But damn, if you would have told me, looking back 3 years ago, that Giroud coming from Chelsea, to me initially when I found out he was coming, I said, this is the type of guy I want. This is the guy, you know what? You had me on the bench at a Chelsea team, which obviously we've seen many Chelsea guys come over to Milan and turn their career around. But that's not Giroud. Giroud was more showing that he still had fight in him, despite being a very young man. People like to always talk about his age. He's a very young man, very young. But Giroud had the fight to want to come to Italy, despite the fact that he did have love for Milan as a young person with Shevchenko and other players that he admired when he was younger. But he came with the desire to prove himself that even with a big personality like Ibrahimovic here, and the team not necessarily being at the heights of other teams that he has been on, at the moment he was able to break the number 9 curse. And come on, the turn against Inter,
Giroud.
Giroud. I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. This guy has been such an amazing ambassador to be called a Milan player. I mean, you could see how much even the players and the young youth of Milan, how much it meant to him, all the things they were saying. Honestly, one of the best pickups that Maldini made was bringing him here. Despite the fact we've countlessly shitted on him this year because we needed to give him rest. We needed to find a substitution for him. All these other things. He's been a constant professional and just playing his heart out. And honestly, Pioli would run this guy into the ground. And before you give your opinion, Gio sent me a thing, so he wanted me to play it because Gio's been one of the harshest critics. So I told him I'd play it. So here's a little comment from our boy Gio.
Yo, Fabio, if you're on tonight, play this message, man. Just want to say, regardless how people felt that I felt about Giroud, I just want to say thank you to him and thank you for breaking the curse. Might have not gone out as I wanted him to go out because, but hey, it is what it is. Mad respect to him. He came, broke the curse of the number 9, and wish him all the best, man. I'm not gonna say the best of luck because he going to the rivals and stuff, but I'll go see Giroud once in a while out here in LA. And man, just constant professional, and sad that he couldn't go out on top. Ciao.
And you know what? Giroud echoed the same thing. Giroud wanted to go out with a trophy. He mentioned it 3 or 4 times in the video today. So very emotional, very proud to have had him on the team. What about you, Vin?
It kind of reminded me of an emotional from a guy. I don't know if you remember Mark van Bommel.
Yeah.
He stayed less than a year, and the emotions that he was showing, And no, it's not that it's unfortunate that we shot on him when we needed to shit on him, but guys, if people are gonna sit here and say that Giroud had nothing to do with that Scudetto, I know that number 1 reason.
He had a lot of stuff.
But guys, Giroud, I think Giroud over exceeded our expectations of him. Everybody, when he came in, another old guy. But à Monsieur Olivier Giroud, un très gros merci, vraiment, de tous les tifosi milanistes à travers le monde. Merci beaucoup et un bocca al lupo. So guys, give yourself a chance. 30 minutes, and it's as Franco said, if I gotta cry, you guys gotta cry.
That's right, and he was right, man. But yeah, I wish we could have went out with him on top, but he's pretty determined that before he goes to Los Angeles, he's going to spend a couple of more weeks with Theo Hernandez and Mignon. So we'll see how that shakes out for him. But I look forward to seeing him in the old USA, doing what good players in the young years of their lives come over to America, make your money, enjoy your time, and go hang out with Gio. He'll get you some Zambuca or whatever the hell you want over there.
It's true. That was 12 years ago, Frank. All those guys all at the same time.
Yeah.
That was one emotional night, man. I remember that one. And on Patreon, Alex DeBiase says, props to Academy product Patrick Cutrone, who was able to play a big role in his hometown team's promotion to Serie A. I was always sad to see him go, as he had a lot of heart and truly played for the badge. Unfortunately, I feel today you are more likely to see a player point to the name on the back of a shirt rather than a kiss the badge on the front. Do you believe Milan will invest in leadership and a long-term strategy to use their academy talent going forward with the players who grew up and loved the club? Alex, you bring a good point, man. But in Italian, we've said it many times, even with Steven the Pat, l'era della bandiera è finita. There are no more these flagship players. And guys, Cutrone was not good.
No,
I'm sorry.
He went
guys.
to where? Wolves, and he did nothing there.
He did nothing. And you know what? I see what Alex is saying. Kissing the badge.
Yeah.
I get it. But sports, the way it's been going, is very individualized. And but then you have a video like today of Giroud that brings it back to, the love for the team. And I get that. But to invest, to invest in a I don't know, let's say, I don't know, you get Simic, right? Or you get another Primavera player that's like, homegrown and everything.
Yeah.
Look at Calabria. Calabria is homegrown, and have we invested in Calabria? Yes, we have, because we've kept him on the team, right?
Mm-hmm.
The leadership, he's given the captain armband. So it's not about only investing; it's about getting those diamonds in the rough. Or if you get a player that comes from La Primavera, somebody comes a knocking, and it's too good to be true, guys. We're going to sell. It's as simple as that. We will sell. Yes, he's doing good with Como, guys. He's doing good with Como. He went to Wolves, right? After he came back, where did he play in Serie A? Then he went to Serie B. I think at one point he was playing in Serie C, but I'm not trying to shit on the guy. But guys, we sold him for 25 million euros. That was the highway robbery.
Everybody loves a comeback story, and Frank could have the money for Cutrone paid for the arrival of Leao. I think that's money well spent. All right, to me. And big ups to Como. First of all, a beautiful area if you've never been, but the stadium right there on the water, really, really nice. Going to be great to have something like that back in Serie A. So, but in regards to our Primavera, yes, we've all liked, obviously, the big fish down there, if not Zaroli, which hopefully we see more first team action for him next year, is obviously Camarada. And we don't want to lose Kamada. We don't want to lose him for nothing. That seems to be kind of the topic of discussion. He's 16. We got to get him on a contract soon. But I echo what you said and what Gio would say. We cannot let Primavera talent go for nothing. We can't send people on loans for like dry loans or the loans where we make no money off of the team. We need to start turning the players that are not going to come to the first team. We need to turn them into major profits. And on top of that, a lot of young Italians are going to come from our squad for the national team. We need to just keep trying to see if we can keep growing these players. And yes, for the players that don't fit what we want to do for the future, let's turn a profit, be smart about it. Hopefully our management figures that out. I'm talking to you, Frodo Ferlani.
Hey, relax there. Presidente sent us a nice discussion topic. And he said, gentlemen, if you'd like to have a topic for tonight, Saki, interesting interview and brings a good talking point for you guys tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Secondo posto è conti in ordine, la contestazione esagerata. So he says, second place and books are in order. The fan reaction is exaggerated.
What the fuck does this guy know anymore?
No, what does he know? I think
because he won a Scudetto and Champions League 30-something years ago. We have to take everything he says as gospel now. This guy, listen, second place might be good for you, all right? You might be happy with this. And again, with this goddamn books. I've never heard so many people talk about the books outside of a library before. You know, these people are obsessed with being financially stable. What do we care? Look at Inter. They are degenerates, all right? And they are gambling every night in the casino, and they keep winning. And look, to embarrass us. But at least we're at least financially stable. What trophy you get for that at the end of the season?
Hold on. You don't talk about that. You want to talk about Milan's finances in the last 10 years? Do you guys want to go back to Young Hong Lee? I don't think people realize what happened to Milan and Young Hong Lee, the fucking hole we put ourselves in. Now, am I satisfied with second place and balanced books? No, I'm not saying I'm satisfied. I think, again, that for me, the fact that we won a Scudetto 2 years, too fast. And our expectations went way too high. Because if we... Guys, remember when was the last time we had the Champions League, right? So it's like, okay, we got back in the top 4. Guys, if it wasn't for Juve's 10 points, we wouldn't be in Champions League. Let's not forget that.
That's right. would be exactly where we ended. Europa League.
I think Saki. I'll use that analogy as like a Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette on his podcast very much followed, talking about old school wrestling and how he hates wrestling nowadays, and it's too like this and it's too like that. But he makes a lot of sense on some stuff he says, but sometimes like, dude, get a grip. Times are moving. Saki, I get what he's trying to say, but for a Curva to silence completely and demanding, we need to know where this team is going. Why is this happening a month before? And Colin was very gracious to give us his response last time, and I disagreed with their actions, and I'm allowed to disagree. I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna love La Curva. I'm still gonna go watch a game with them one day. But I think if we have to look at the whole
picture,
was this a failure? I think the fans' reaction is not exaggerated after 6 derby losses in a row. That I'll give it.
Yes, and also the exit to Roma and in the manner in which we lost, despite the fact the early exit from Coppa Italia, which seemed to have a beeline to some sort of semifinal, final something. We didn't even get there. So to me, I understand. And Dan has a great point here. And last year we were 20 points away. This year we're 18 points away. Again, we are not closing the gap to the top. And I think
we were 20 points. We were 20 points away in 5th place, then in 4th place. Now we're just because Inter got away with it this year. To me, it's just
you're right there. The season overall, a lot of teams really struggled, and in turn gave Inter such a huge
for me.
gap.
My to seeing the early exit of Coppa Italia, to see the way we lost in the Europa League. The games that the 6 derby loss in a row, to me, the cycle is over. Thank you, Pioli, for everything that you've done. I'm not trashing on the guy. I think that's a sign. The cycle is over. But for me to ask the management to tell me what the plans are, who's going to be our next coach, go get Conte, go get this, go get that. I just feel I'm in between there. But the cycle is definitely over. So my prediction of Pioli being our coach next year is not going to come true. I don't think so.
It better not. It better not.
Okay. Let's finish off with a few laughs, shall we?
Let's do it, baby.
All right. Let me go pop up Jan's segment here. What does he have? I like popping up his audio. All right, Mr. Jan, what say you? Busted Calcio X.
Welcome to this week's editions of Busted Calcio Tweets for the week of May 13th. We're going to start with one of our very own, the Milanistas, La Casa de Football, at La Casa de Football. And I just realized that his handle is Football, F-U-D-B-O-L, not F-U-T. Interesting. So I would like AC Milan to sign new deal with him. He is born and raised in Rossoneri. He is current captain. I would like him there and transmit that AC Milan DNA to other players. Guess who La Casa de Football is speaking of? Our very own Davide Calabria. Yes, I heard our current captain would like a raise. I think he can go get that raise elsewhere, just like Jack did or other players that have left. Sorry, Presidente. Jack's okay. Not that great. Davide Calabria. Bang average, right back. Yes, he was part of the Primavera, part of the Milan youth and everything. But like players like, who's his friend, Cutrone or Locatelli, these are just not players that you keep around. I don't care if they came through the academy. What's he going to be transmitting to other players? The fact that he scammed our organization for a bunch of millions of dollars? Because outside of his one Scudetto year where he played well and above his weight, he's not been that good. Florenzi, who was older, has proven to be somewhat of a better option. But quite frankly, if this team wants to take a step forward, we need to look for getting a better right back to balance out the left and the right backs, because we have a world-class one on the left, Theo, who's probably leaving this summer for Bayern and have a good time in Germany. The food sucks, Actually, his name's
No,
pretty good.
don't even say it.
But we need someone to balance the right side. I don't think it's going to be Florenzi, who's on his way out, I would hope. I don't think it's going to be Davide Calabria. And, it seems to us that Pioli doesn't think it's going to be Terracciano either. But I have high hopes for the young player we bought in January. Regardless of his lack of playing time, I do think that players that come from teams like Verona have to get acclimatized to playing in a real club, on a real pitch, and with real trainers. So Terracciano, I think, is one for the future, but there's still a lot of unknowns. There's Jimenez, who's another kid that we got from Real Madrid, who's on loan. So I don't know. Davide is not the one. La Casa de Football, you're busted, because if you think this guy's going to transmit anything besides how to not make a cross, you have another thing coming. Next.
I don't mind. I don't mind signing back Calabria. I wouldn't give him a big raise. But I don't think Calabria would accept a second fiddle role. Like your rotation. Milan Dani.
I totally busted. First of all, when you hear the money that Calabria is trying to get from Milan, like $4.5 million, I believe, some high number, like doubling whatever he's making now. He does not deserve it. No way. One, he doesn't stay healthy enough. No. Two, we need a higher caliber on the right side.
Transmit the DNA.
Yeah, transmit. All right, dude. I don't know what the hell that means anyway. But listen, I would just say I like Florenzi as a veteran presence, as a backup. We need a new starting right back. Sorry, Calabria. We were able to bench Romagnoli before you. You're not anybody special. You're not playing up to our caliber. Thank you for the memories. But you have 1 year left on the contract. And if you don't want to play ball with us, we need to get rid of him.
If Kalulu wasn't forced to go to center back a couple of years back, I think he would have been battling for that position, because that's his position.
I think
Kalulu, right?
Kalulu could stay, be a center back, be a right back option.
No, right back.
Earn your stuff. I mean, come on. Let's
and
also too.
Kid.
Oh yeah, but Jimenez, I don't know what the deal is in regard from Real Madrid, because he is technically theirs. So we'll see how that works out in the future. But no way, busted. No way. He's not getting any new money. He's got 1 year left. If you want to stay here for that year, go ahead. If not, we sell you this summer. Bon voyage.
We're going to go to tactical manager. This person here likes to play for the blue checkmark at manager tactics.
I like this guy.
Tactical. Okay. I still can get over the fact that the only world-class player to ever come out of MLS is Canadian. I believe you wanted to write, I still can't get over. It's weird that you have the blue check mark and you can't edit your tweets. What are you paying for? Let's continue with the tweet. It's unacceptable. It's why we should bring all the franchises back to the U.S. and let them develop their own players. Okay, guys. I get it that you might think that Alphonso Davies is the most talented player to ever come out of MLS. That's what the image is in the tweet. I know it's not mentioned there. But Alphonso Davies is Canadian. So even if he would have been developed in, let's say, Portland or whatever other city you want to move the Vancouver Whitecaps to, how would that have helped the United States? I'm not understanding here. Again, I used to follow the Impact religiously when they were in USL, NASL, and up to the first couple of years of MLS. And then I realized the owner's a piece of shit and doesn't really want to do much with this team. And he kicked out a bunch of people that lit some flares. So I didn't renew my season tickets for many years. I went back a couple of years ago to watch the games again. And it's really abysmal here in Montreal. But, Vancouver, they had Alphonso Davies at a young age. They sold him to Bayern. Is it quite possible that he became world-class, as you say, by training at Bayern, not so much training in Vancouver? Not to say that what Vancouver did for him wasn't great and that, that they did discover the talent and developed him to a certain extent, but I would have to think that he became world-class playing with world-class players, being under world-class coaches, being in a system that Bayern, I know they spend a lot of money, but they do have a very good system. And again, tactical manager over here. What is unacceptable about this? It's not like he was an American player that was developed in Canada, and even at that, I don't see how that would hurt your national team. So I'm really having a hard time understanding this tweet and what the problem is for 3 Canadian cities to have teams in the MLS. So I just very busted type of tweet, makes absolutely no sense. I just don't understand why this person even plays for a blue check mark. Okay.
I'm understand. It's unacceptable. That's why we should bring back all the franchisees back to the US and let them develop their own players. So
I think
bring
I
him
think
back to FC New York or something. Or what is he trying to say, dude?
I honestly I don't know where. First of all, the MLS has way too many teams at this point. I don't know where you would put these 3 other. I mean, where do you want them in some state where nobody's going to go see these games? I honestly listen. This is their player. He played well. I don't quite understand what the hell his beef to this is. And it's definitely once he went over to Europe, he took the next step. I doubt it came from MLS or Canada. Sorry, guys.
No. Okay, let's see what else. Hopefully, number 3 is going to be really busted that we don't have to discuss.
The last one from Benolds, and this comes in through something that Defensive Fuglies had posted. Thank you, Nico. Sorry if I'm stealing your thunder here, but I had to talk about this one today. Benolds, another one with a blue check mark. Wow, that avatar just looks like somebody you want to punch in the face on a train in Europe. Anyway, at LFC Benolds. The best CB to ever play the game currently captains Liverpool and is staying at least one more year. Isn't that incredible? What's incredible about this tweet is I had no idea that Paolo Maldini returned to playing calcio after being fired from Milan as the director. And not only that, he decided to sign a contract with Liverpool. Not only that, he has become the captain. So I have no idea why Paolo Maldini decided to go play for Liverpool out of retirement. But the best center back to ever play the game currently does not captain Liverpool. He never has, unless, Paolo, you're lying to all of us and you really took the firing from Milano as to the heart and you said, fuck that, I'm turning the clock back and I'm going to 2005 and I'm captaining Liverpool now. Because if you Benolds are talking about Virgil van Dijk, you clearly, well, I mean, I can see it in your avatar. You look very young. What a fat she got in that avatar. Wow. Just want to slap him. And then you read his takes and you just want to slap him even more. This is incredibly busted. I don't know which one you guys are going to pick for the most busted one, but it would be this one. This is absolutely insulting to not only Paolo Maldini, but even other great center backs like Alessandro Nesta, Franco Baresi. I mean, Carlos Puyol would have something to say over Virgil van Dijk as well. And I'm sure I'm missing out more. Nico, I'm sure you're going to go off on this on your podcast. So please tell us of all the other center backs that are better than Virgil van Dijk to ever play the game. So that's it for me this week. It was a nice 5-1 shellacking on Mother's Day for Milan. And there's only a couple of weeks left. So don't forget to send me all your busted tweets either through the Twitter machine, the Patreon chat. Send them to me by carrier pigeon if you need to. That's how the Serie A makes their schedules. You didn't hear? Thank you. Have a nice week. And as always, Forza Milan.
This tweet is the reason why England doesn't win shit every single competition they're in because of this, because they're so delusional that they're the best of everything. I remember in the Euros, semifinals hadn't been played yet. They're already in the newspaper. Who will meet England in the finals? This is the reason. What Virgil van Dijk is a very good. Some people want to call him world class. These guys put Harry Maguire in the same fucking sentence at one point with guys like Franco Baresi. Where?
Oh my God! I mean, again, this
Christ,
is just the Premier League.
No, but you know what the best CB. Tell me you would have wrote the best CB to play currently. Okay, to ever play the game.
ever to play the game that he's ever seen, because he's probably so young. He never saw Maldini or any other great one, but there's countless any people out there. But honestly, Van Dijk he has this following. He gets all these idiots so like hyped over. What is Liverpool winning this year? Can somebody remind me what Liverpool's winning this year? Nothing.
They're not in the battle, even them. No,
No, they're in third, and at this point, they're out of the conversation.
Yeah,
all right.
Out of the conversation.
Let's be real here. This is just, again, somebody who's just hyped up on the Liverpool juice, who thinks Virgil van Dijk is if he's not the greatest center back, he's Jesus reincarnated. I mean, listen, yeah, they won the League Cup. Okay, all right.
They won the Coppa Italia. They won
the League Cup, which one? Carabao Cup, or I thought the FA Cup is between the two Manchester teams. So listen, they haven't won anything worth going crazy. Van Dijk is a good player, yes, world class, probably
world class. Okay, but to say the best ever played a game, Jesus Christ!
Come on, let's get him.
Anyways, it's just, and it's not even to think of.
It's not even that is the busted one. That's a great point. Nico makes a great point. VVD is great, but he's not even the best in EPL right now.
Harry Maguire is.
The fridge, Harry Maguire. He's still kicking. Earning that 20, 30 million, whatever the hell he's making, or he was.
Guys, at least you know he got better. At least that. Guys, on that note, Saturday, 2:45, I believe the game is, Mr. Fabio. See,
yeah, I believe it is 2:45. Yeah.
Alle 2:45, guys, and no, I will be on. Let's do it 90 minutes before.
Don't know if I will be in attendance. I'm not exactly sure what I'll be doing on Saturday.
But since I canceled, lots of our Patreon members are going to join because they need the therapy, and we'll see.
Vinny will be there. I most likely will not, because I am trying to finagle my way into Manhattan so I can go see the club. We'll see how it works.
We'll be together next Monday. Stay tuned.
Let me give a shout out, guys. If anybody's going to be in the New York City area, Legends Bar, the Football Factory, 33rd, 5th Avenue. Go check it out. Obviously, 2:45 here, New York time. Check out. Go see the bar.
And on that note, ovunque e sempre, Forza Milan.
Forza Milan.